What do you think is the role of our political parties? Dr. Cayuta Ramos of CDM will clear this out.
In the form of government that we have, which is liberal democracy, political party performs a very, very critical role. That is, it translates the interests of the people, the citizenry, into government action, which might be decisions, policies, laws, and the like. If the political parties do not have members who can in fact be towing the party line, then we don't have any political party to talk about.
Yo, you guys out there, you getting all this info so far? Hang on tight, we got some more coming up. Let us ask Mr. Camara and let us see if there's still light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, when governance is concerned.
The reverse of our principle of superiority would be the principle of subsidiarity. We would see 70% of the expenditure of all government resources are handled by local governments and communities. We hope to see the bulk of the resources are used to empower local governments to create strong local economies.
Empowering the local economies. But how is that done?
Instead of allowing only the BIR and the Bureau of Customs as agents of the central government, by allowing the local government to have a hand in the collection and the direct retention of those taxes, then we will see an incentive for the local government to improve the overall tax collection.
Now, is there a solution on our economic front? Let us go back to Professor Alex Magno.
Well, since this articulation happens at two levels, the plantation economy must be quickly reoriented towards highly organized agro-business production on new crops. At the second level of this articulation, which is topographical, we need to build better logistical systems to facilitate trade between the islands, reduce transport as a cost factor for products that are coming from small island economies.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense actually. Let us ask Dr. Peter Coppinger of the Konrad Adenauer Foundation. His trust is to help develop good governance all across the Asian region. So Dr. Coppinger, what are your observations about our type of democracy?
Well, I came to the Philippines about 6 months ago to take over the office of the Konrad Adenauer Foundation, which is cooperating with Philippine partners for about 40 years. And of course, I was told the Philippines are the oldest and freest democracy here in Asia. So I tried to understand the situation. I spoke with many people. I read the newspaper. I looked at the news, and I have to admit I got quite confused. And a lot of questions came into my mind. I want to share some of these questions with you today.
Democracy is representation.
Democracy means representation. What is your possibility to select candidates in the parties which later on are running? But do you have any influence on who is representing you?
Democracy is participation.
Democracy means participation in decision making. How do the people in the Philippines participate in decision making on tax issues, on health issues, on environmental issues, and many other issues? These issues somehow are not the core of in the campaigning. The core are people, are personalities. How do you participate in such decisions?
Do you have control over our elected leaders?
Democracy means control. Who controls them? The position of your president or the position of the executive institutions? Do you have the feeling if somebody of them doing something wrong, there is an institution that can control him or her?
Democracy means protection of human rights.
Democracy, of course, means protection of human rights. As far as I could hear and read, there are so many situations where people are intimidated or even hurt by powerful interests and powerful people, and the state doesn't really help. So where is the protection of human rights?
I still wonder. It seems that the oldest and the freest democracy in Asia is in fact deficient in so many ways. Just a thought. How do we build a united and a strong nation then? Let us go back to Kalayaan College and talk to Dr. Abueva.
More ideas for nation building and the building of a democratic state. In 1988, Senator Leticia Sihani and Dr. Patricia Liquanan made a report called the Moral Recovery Program. And they urged our people to do 4 things. To have a sense of patriotism and national pride, a genuine love, appreciation, and commitment to the Philippines and things Filipino. 1. 2. A sense of the common good, the ability to look beyond selfish interests, a sense of justice, and a sense of outrage at the violation of justice. Number 3, a sense of integrity and accountability, and aversion towards graft and corruption. Number 4, develop the value and habits of discipline and hard work, and the value and habits of self-reflection and analysis. Now this is lacking. You should not just read and listen. Pag-isipan natin. Binabasa. Naririnig natin. The internalization of spiritual values and the emphasis on essence rather than form. I think this is very good advice for nation building and unity.
There is something that we Filipinos should take to heart if we want to have a strong and united nation. However, at this point, it seems to assume that our democratic system is in need of an overhaul. Let us go back to Dr. Coppinger. So, Doctor, can you tell us of the German experience after World War II, and what sort of economic system did Germany adopt to improve its war-ravaged economy?
In Germany, after the Second World War, we were in a very, very desperate situation. Everything was destroyed. We had millions of refugees. We had no functioning political and administrative structure. The infrastructure destroyed. And in that situation, many people said, okay, now the state has to take everything into its hand as far as the state exists and try to give everybody a little bit so that everybody somehow can survive. Some people who were in charge of building up some economic administration, they decided to try out something which is not planned economy and which is not a free market economy. They tried the so-called social market economy. And within very, very short time, Germany came out of this misery. The people were able to become wealthy, a real miracle. That this system is really a system which builds on a very pragmatic view of human beings and of experiences from the last 200 years in industrialized countries.
Dr. Coppinger, you mentioned something about social market economy.
Social market economy is a system which builds on the core value of